Before we dive in, remember, some of the facts in this video are twisted history. This channel is for fun. Enjoy the show. Welcome to Austin, Texas, the city where the slogan is "Keep Austin Weird." And trust me, they mean it. This is a place where history, music, politics, bats, and barbecue all collide into one giant taco of Texan identity. And if you think you're going to get a straight-laced history lesson, well, this is the twisted history of Austin. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments if you want more content like this. Origins of Weird. Let's rewind to the 1830s when Texas was its own scrappy little republic. They needed a capital, and Sam Houston, the guy with the town named after him, wasn't too keen on Austin. In fact, he thought it was too far out in the wilderness. He wanted the capital closer to the coast, where it was civilized. But Mirabeau B. Lamar, the second president of the Republic of Texas, said, "Nah, let's plop it right here by the Colorado River," which back then was basically wilderness with mosquitoes the size of your hand. They called it Waterloo at first, which sounds more like a disco song than a capital city. Eventually, they renamed it Austin after Stephen F. Austin, the so-called father of Texas, who, fun fact, spent more time being thrown in jail in Mexico than actually fathering Texas. The Archives War. Now here's a fun one. In 1842, Mexico was threatening to invade again, so Sam Houston ordered that the National Archives be moved out of Austin to Houston. But the Austinites? Oh, they weren't having it. A group of Austin women literally fired cannons at the wagons trying to move the documents. Imagine that. Texas history saved not by soldiers, but by a group of angry frontier ladies in bonnets with a cannon. That's the kind of PTA you don't mess with. The Capitol building. Austin also has the Texas State Capitol, which is the largest state capital in the U.S. Yes, even bigger than Washington, D.C.'s capital. Why? Because Texas. Built in the 1880s out of pink granite, the workers actually went on strike during construction because they didn't like their lunch breaks. So the state imported convict labor instead. That's right. Parts of the Texas State Capitol were built by inmates. So when you admire the Grand Dome, just remember, it's partly brought to you by chain gangs. Bats, music, and beer. Fast forward to modern Austin and you'll find the city has embraced being weird. Case in point, the Congress Avenue Bridge. It's home to the largest urban bat colony in North America. Around 1.5 million bats fly out from under that bridge every summer night. And Austinites gather to watch it like it's the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. People cheer, clap, and yes, sometimes get a little bat poop on their shoulders. It's considered good luck, or at least that's what they tell the tourists. Then there's the music. Austin is called the live music capital of the world, and it's not an exaggeration. With places like 6th Street, Broken Spoke, and the legendary Armadillo World Headquarters, Austin became the place where Willie Nelson, Janis Joplin, and Stevie Ray Vaughan made their mark. But don't let the romanticism fool you. Half the time, Austin's music history is just a story about someone's uncle getting drunk, losing his boots, and waking up in a barbecue pit. Moonlight Towers and Murder Austin is also home to some seriously twisted history. In the 1880s, the city installed Moonlight Towers, 165-foot-tall light towers to brighten up the streets. Why? Because of the servant girl Annihilator. That was the nickname for a still unsolved serial killer who stalked Austin in 1884-1885, attacking women in the middle of the night. Some say he was America's first serial killer. Others claim he hopped on a boat to England and became Jack the Ripper. Either way, the Moonlight Towers were put up to keep folks from being murdered in the dark. They're still standing today, iron monuments to Austin's darker past. Politics and protests. Now, being the capital of Texas, Austin is also the stage for political drama. And let's be honest, Texans love a good spectacle. From legislative walkouts to people showing up at the Capitol dressed as armadillos to protest tax hikes, Austin has seen it all. And let's not forget the famous chicken ranch scandal of the 1970s that inspired the musical The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Politicians in Austin couldn't keep their boots out of trouble, and the whole country laughed and sang along. The weird today. Today, Austin is a tech hub, home to Dell, Tesla, and enough startups to power a small planet. But with progress comes irony. The city known for Keep Austin Weird now has traffic so bad it makes Los Angeles blush. Locals still ride around on bikes, eat breakfast tacos at 3 a.m., and line up for barbecue at Franklin's like it's a religious pilgrimage. But at its core, Austin is still that oddball city where history, music, bats, and a little mischief come together under the Texas sun. Twisted taste of modern Austin. Now let's talk about food in Austin, because if you don't, people will get offended. This city eats like every meal might be the Last Supper, and frankly, if you've ever stood in line at Franklin Barbecue for 4 hours, it feels like it might be. Franklin is so famous that folks camp out before sunrise just to get a brisket sandwich. And when you finally get it, you realize it's basically smoked beef nirvana. Some say Aaron Franklin sold his soul to a mesquite pit for that recipe. Others say he just perfected the science of meat. Either way, the brisket is tender enough to make grown men cry, and some do. But barbecue isn't the only crown jewel. Austin is also the birthplace of the modern food truck scene. Back in the early 2000s, people laughed at the idea of gourmet tacos out of a trailer. Now, whole neighborhoods are practically food truck amusement parks. You can grab kimchi fries, vegan donuts, or fried chicken sandwiched between two waffles, all from trucks parked within 20 feet of each other. It's like Disney World, but with more grease and fewer screaming children. And then there's the Tex-Mex, because in Austin, queso isn't just food, it's a religion. At places like Matt's El Rancho, they've been serving the Bob Armstrong dip since the 1950s. That's queso with ground beef, guacamole, and sour cream mixed in. Legend has it a Texas politician named Bob Armstrong asked for something different, and the cook basically dumped the pantry into a bowl. Now it's iconic, proof that laziness sometimes creates greatness. If you're feeling fancy, Austin's got that too. Restaurants like Uchi will serve you sushi so fresh you'll forget you're in the middle of cattle country. Locals like to brag about pairing brisket one night with Wagyu sashimi the next. It's Austin's way of saying, we're cultured, but we still wear flip-flops. And let's not skip dessert. There's Amy's Ice Creams, where servers fling scoops of Mexican vanilla across the counter like they're auditioning for the Olympics. Or Gordo's, the donut truck where each donut is the size of a hubcap and usually topped with bacon, brownies, or something else your doctor wouldn't approve of. What ties it all together is Austin's obsession with being different. Whether it's tacos for breakfast, queso at midnight, or barbecue at dawn, this city eats with the same energy it uses to play live music or cheer for bats. Every bite has a little history, a little weirdness, and a whole lot of personality. So when you're in Austin, sure, check out the Capitol, stroll down 6th Street, and wave at the bats. But don't forget to eat your way through the city. Because the real twisted history of Austin might just be told through barbecue sauce, queso bowls, and donuts bigger than your head. So, if you visit, don't just tour the Capitol or take selfies at South Congress. Remember, you're standing in a city that was once saved by cannon-firing ladies, terrified by a serial killer, and serenaded by Willie Nelson, all while a million bats flew overhead. That's Austin, weird, wild, and 100% Texan. Thank you for watching. Come back next week for another video like this.